Basically, you go in.
Learning a language can be a tortuous process. Enter Hong Kong-based entrepreneur Chris Lonsdale.
For many years I was faced with a daily conversation in society which went, oh, your Chinese is fantastic, you must be talented. And I got completely fed up with that conversation because I've never been particularly talented in languages. When I was at school, I was doing French. I was probably in the bottom third of my class. So language learning wasn't something I was any good at. But I came to China, I applied the ideas that I'd learned in psychology to learning Mandarin, and I'd learned it in about 6 months. And then when I came to Hong Kong, I applied the ideas again and was fluent in Cantonese in about 4 months from arriving in Hong Kong.
But don't expect Lonsdale's third-year courses, which he introduced through a smartphone application in conjunction with Apple's iPhone, to be heavy on grammar. In fact, it's got a lot to do with music. 20 years of research, he says, shows musical rhythm upticks a student's memory by 50%.
If you put rhythm to it, you get the whole body involved, and it's even more powerful. So one component of what we do is use music as part of the app. The second thing we do is we teach pronunciation by showing the face. And you'll notice that children, when they hear their parents speak, if they don't quite get what's said, they'll look at their parents' face, and then they'll repeat it. And research done a couple of years ago in Korea shows that if you can see the face, you improve your accuracy and your recall by about 80%.
Chris Lonsdale reckons his courses, launched in 2009, can get Chinese students speaking English through his so-called learning machine, dubbed third-year Kung Fu English, in just 2 weeks, because the reading and learning is focused on story and meaning.
To learn a language in that way is much more effective than doing vocab lists or reading lots of different authors and articles of stuff that you're not interested in. So what we've done is we've taken my book, The Third Year, You Can Learn Any Language. We use that as the centerpiece. So a learner is listening to English, they're reading English to understand how do I learn a language, and through this process they're actually acquiring English. We have people like Coca-Cola, Kraft, Danone, Agilent who are all taking it on in the corporate world. We have a number of people individually who have taken it on. And we know that they're getting very, very rapid improvement in their pronunciation. We know that it's something that they like to carry with them. They can use it on the bus, they can use it in downtime between meetings. So people are using it a lot and really enjoying it. And some people have, my own Chinese business partner didn't speak English a year ago, and she used our core material, just 4 hours of audio material, and she now holds meetings in English for business. She writes emails that are probably 95% accurate in English with no difficulty whatsoever.
Apart from picking up the rudiments of a language really fast, this iPhone application allows Chris the opportunity to offer 6-month courses using his unconventional approach to language learning. And if you can't afford an iPhone, well, there's always the website.
Third Year has all its production, including studio and equipment, based on the Chinese mainland. But it's Hong Kong where this knowledge-based business finds its real commercial benefits. And Chris Lonsdale is pleased he's settled in the territory.
I came to Hong Kong, I think, about 1984. I was in Beijing, and my China visa ran out, so I came down to Hong Kong. I fell in love with the place. I think it's a wonderful place in terms of the economy. It's a free economy. I think it's got one of the best taxation systems in the world. I don't like tax, but I think in terms of fairness and load, Hong Kong is probably one of the best places in the world. It's a place where you can start a knowledge business with very, very minimal capital requirements or overhead. The technology of communications here is second to none.
But just how far can language courses developed for use by mobile phone really take off on the Chinese mainland? Aren't there far better prospects for face-to-face learning? The Third Year pioneer backs his own product for business success.
It's going to be big. There are 350 million people in China today learning English. About 100 million adults, 250 million kids at schools. And those are the people who are spending money on it. This is what the research is picking up. There's a whole bunch of other people in China who would love to speak English who gave up. And what we found in Hong Kong, for instance, when we put our rhythmic Mandarin and Cantonese in the stores, we did not put it in the language section. We put it on counter beside the cash register with a little POS which reads, "Pick up a Chinese." And so people come past and they sort of pick up a Chinese, what? And they look again and they see Cantonese or Mandarin. They pick up the package, they read it, they go, oh, this is interesting, maybe I can, and they buy it. So we're looking at a market of literally hundreds of millions of people.
So in the future, I suppose you'd be looking at an initial public offer worth millions of dollars.
It wouldn't be millions, it would be billions. We're looking at a whole number of markets. One is English in China. Another is Japan and Korea. They have the same problems in those countries as Chinese have with English. You have other markets like South America that need English. You have 30 million people around the world today learning Mandarin. We're already quite a long way forward producing a Mandarin product for those markets. So in the next 3 to 5 years, our goal is actually to be global.
And you'll still be in Hong Kong?
And we'll be in Hong Kong.